In 2021, Elon Musk became the richest person in the world, with a net worth of over $200 billion. He is so rich that if you gave him just 60 seconds of every hour for the next 60 years, he wouldn't be able to spend all his money. Yeah, seriously. If he spent 60 seconds of every single waking hour of every day from now until the year 2181, he'd still only be able to spend 1% of his fortune. So how much do you need to be the richest person ever? Well, when compared to his staggering net worth, even $1 billion doesn't seem like that much. But trust us when we say that what Elon has pales in comparison to some of these other mega-rich. From ruthless dictators to cunning bankers, here are the top 5 richest people in history. Welcome back, everyone. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So where does Elon Musk's astronomical net worth place him on our list? Well, as we mentioned, he's not even the richest person currently alive, even though his fortune comes in at no. 1 on Forbes' real-time billionaire list. He's not the wealthiest individual to have ever lived. To put this into perspective, if Elon were to disappear off the face of the earth right now, his widow would receive around $170 million per year for the rest of her life thanks to Tesla stock alone. That's more than enough to live like a king. But compared to the insanely wealthy individuals about to appear on this list, that amount is peanuts. When it comes to how much you need to be considered the richest person ever, even a mind-boggling $200 billion isn't enough. You'll need billions of billions. And when we say billions, we mean billion with a B. Let's start with the infamous drug lord Pablo Escobar. He may not have been a business tycoon or a tech genius, but there's no denying that he knew how to make money. Between 1976 and 1982, Escobar's criminal organization produced and distributed between 80 and 90% of the world's supply of cocaine, raking in an estimated $420 million per week. According to a Colombian senator, Escobar often burned entire bales of cash because he had so much of it lying around. There's no official estimate of Escobar's total wealth, but if he were alive today, his net worth would be around $80 billion after adjusting for inflation. So to make it on our list, you're gonna need more than just a couple $billion. Let's step away from the world of business and look at one of history's most infamous dictators, Adolf Hitler. During World War II, the Nazi leader plundered the resources of many European countries, stealing art, jewelry, gold, and other valuables from those he conquered. It's impossible to know exactly how much he stole, but historians estimate that he amassed somewhere between 250,000 and 400,000 pieces of stolen artwork. Some items were seized immediately after the war ended, but many others are still missing. In addition to his plunder, Hitler also oversaw the confiscation of property from Jews and other minorities in Germany, stealing their homes, businesses, and banks. Estimates vary, but it's believed that he confiscated around 95% of Jewish businesses and 75% of Jewish homes in Germany. If we value all of Hitler's stolen goods and land at today's prices, his wealth would be around $3 trillion. That's why when we say that Hitler was rich, we don't mean just him personally. We mean that his wealth came from conquering other nations and stealing their resources. Now, before you go accusing us of glorifying Hitler, let us clarify that we don't condone his actions or his views in any way. He was a horrible person who did horrible things. We just wanted to include him on this list because it's undeniable that he was incredibly rich. As we continue to explore the insane wealth of dictators, let's look at a man who didn't achieve his power through military conquest, but rather through sheer determination and a willingness to break the rules. Henry Ford was a pioneer of the modern age, forever changing the way we live, work, and travel. However, he wasn't always known for being generous. In fact, during the early days of his company, Ford was notorious for paying his workers extremely low wages, which made them feel like they were only valued as replaceable cogs in a machine. This lack of respect and recognition led to a number of strikes and protests by Ford workers. But instead of cracking down on the workers, Ford decided to take a different approach. He realized that his employees were the heart and soul of his company, and without them, he wouldn't be successful. So he did something that had never been done before. He doubled their wages and reduced their work hours from 10 to 8. This was a bold move, but it paid off. The workers were thrilled, and the productivity increased. This move made Ford one of the richest men in the world. By 1917, his personal wealth adjusted for inflation was equivalent to $34 billion. But Ford wasn't the only one who benefited from this change. His customers also loved his cars, and they became some of the best-selling vehicles in the world. So not only did he become rich himself, but he also created a fortune for his company and his customers. His story is a reminder that sometimes doing the unexpected can lead to amazing results. Now let's turn our attention to a family whose wealth has endured for centuries. The Rothschilds are one of the richest families in the world, with a net worth of over $400 billion. They gained their fortune in the early days of banking and have since grown their wealth through savvy investments and business deals. Despite their incredible wealth, the Rothschilds have managed to avoid much of the public scrutiny that comes with being mega rich. They prefer to stay out of the limelight and let their investments speak for themselves. One of the reasons for their success is their ability to keep a low profile. They understand the importance of privacy and discretion, and they've been able to protect their wealth by staying out of the public eye. Another reason for their enduring wealth is their willingness to adapt to changing times. They've been able to maintain their fortune for so long is their willingness to evolve and embrace new opportunities. For example, when the banking industry was deregulated in the 1980s, the Rothschilds were quick to take advantage of the new opportunities that arose. They expanded their investment banking operations and became some of the leading players in the industry. Today, the Rothschilds continue to grow and evolve. They've been able to maintain their wealth and influence for so long is their ability to remain humble and grounded. Despite their incredible wealth, they understand that it's not everything, and they've been able to use their fortune to make a positive impact on the world. Overall, the Rothschilds are a fascinating family whose wealth and influence have stood the test of time. Their story is a reminder that enduring wealth requires more than just good investments. It also takes a certain mindset and approach to life that values privacy, adaptability, and humility. Want to know who made it to know? 1. Check out this video for the answer. Who was the richest person in ancient times? Comment below. Thanks for watching.